What is going on, guys? This is the Empowered People Podcast, where each and every week we tell, share, and listen to stories that are meant to motivate us to action.
If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to rely on people to help you.
I've always been able to surround myself with people that are way better than me.
Whatever you choose to do, you can make it happen, regardless of, whatever stereotypical roles are. If you want to go do something, go do it.
And so when I quit, it's in my mind. I'm starting a company. I'm starting a for-profit company with a nonprofit heartbeat that's going to answer the question, what if a company cares more about people and less about profit? What is going on, guys? This is the Empowered People Podcast, Tuesday Tune-Up, where you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to come at you with more stories, less advice. I'm your host, Josh Levin, and thanks a ton for tuning in again on iTunes, on Spotify, on YouTube. And guys, if you haven't already listened to episode 219, W.I.N, I would suggest right now stopping this podcast and going back and listen, okay? Because in that podcast, I really harped on what it takes to win in 2021. I read this book called Essentialism, which I would recommend to everyone. And in that book, he talks about the New Zealand All Blacks, the most dominant rugby team of all times, and their motto of win, what's important now, and how having clarity and having focus on the present ensures that you're the most dominant rugby team ever. And I think you're the most dominant you possible, man, woman, child, entrepreneur, employee, doesn't matter. If you can answer the question with complete clarity and complete focus, what's important now, I think you're going to dominate in life. And I'm going to stick behind that podcast. But I did get hit up by a lot of questions, a lot of direct messages on Instagram and LinkedIn and all these different types of things where people said to me, hey, as you talk about being present and as you talk about focusing on the present, as you talk about the here and now, what about whenever you're limping and you're injured because of your past? What about when you're fearful and reluctant of what the future might hold? And to them, I'm going to tell you what I said to each and every one of them, and you might disagree, and I apologize. This might, hit on some nerves. I might come a little abrasive, but it's from a place of love. It's from a place of being completely content and happy with where my life is, what my outcomes are being, what the results of my life, are relationally, professionally, friendship-wise, spiritually, all those types of things. And so anyways, when those people are saying, what about your past? Okay, you're so focused on the present, but what about your past when someone's done you wrong, when someone's done you dirty, when you've, done stupid things and now you're limping with the repercussions? And guys, I have to tell you, man, I don't think about my past at all. It's one of the most controversial things I'll say. I guarantee all my counselor friends right now are gasping going, what do you mean? Like, I completely ignore my past. My past has absolutely nothing to do with my current situation. It has nothing to do with my future. I almost ignore my past like it didn't happen. And I know what you're thinking, right? Like, you're thinking I'm some type of soft tissue paper snowflake that's never gone through any trauma. Absolutely not. If you want to dive into the trauma and the things that I've overcome that have been done to me, that I have done, I'm not going to hash that out in this episode. You can go back and listen to the countless episodes at the beginning. I think it's episodes 1 through 10, where I really dig down deep into my past and the things I've overcome. But I don't think your past is something that defines you, okay? I've said it ever since I was at the Juvie Hall. I don't think your genetics, your DNA, your family history, anything like that should define you. I think who you choose to be presently should define you. And part of the reason I believe this, man, is at Empowered Electric, constantly I'm confronted with things that I've screwed up. So when we do a job, right, we have at the end of the job, a guy comes and inspects our work. He actually inspects our work throughout the process, but at the end, and I remember like failing final inspections. At the end of it, we've done all our work, and he comes in and he says, hey man, this isn't good enough. You failed here, here, and here for these reasons, these 4 reasons. And I could sit around and act like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. Oh my gosh, I do everything wrong. Oh my gosh, I'm a loser. And I could let everyone else think about that, right? Like, think that I'm a failure. Think that, I'm a piece of crap, that I don't know what I'm doing in my life, right? Because I failed. No. You get that list and you learn from it and you grow. And what I mean is you correct those mistakes that you did. So I didn't secure the lights well enough. I'm going to secure them. I didn't put the grounding stingers in. I'm going to put them in. I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of personally right now to make sure that tomorrow, whenever I get that inspection again, I don't fail again. Okay, so I don't let my past define me. Well, have you ever failed an inspection? Yeah, then you're a failure. No, I'm not. I'm not a failure. Didn't fail today, did I? Nope, because I made the corrections necessary to focus on today so that I'm no longer a failure. The second thing, so that's personal accountability about my past, right? Like, look back into your past and change. Like, you've got some whack cracker addictions, you got to get rid of those. And if that means getting into AA or getting into a Workaholics Anonymous group or whatever it is, like, you've got to make those changes personally to ensure that right now you're becoming that great person, okay? The second thing, which is way more sensitive and way more touchy, but I'm going to say it again, that you don't have to heal from your past even when somebody screws you over. And like I said, dude, I'm not going to go down deep into it, but when it comes to mental abuse and physical abuse and all sorts of abuse, dude, I've been there. I've felt it. I know what it feels like, and it sucks. And it sucks whenever you let yourself sit there and you're, yo, I'm just an at-risk kid. Yo, I'm just a victim. Yo, I'm just a statistic. Like, I could easily label myself based on what other people have done to me, defining who I am. But I'm not going to do that. And I have every freaking label that you can possibly put on me. But what I am is I'm a success. I'm an achiever. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a builder, dreamer, freaking man, right? And if you're a woman, great, all power to you. But like, I'm not going to allow other people to do. Now, what I'm going to do, just like whenever I'm confronted with my own mistakes, right? And I'm going to grow from them and I'm going to learn and I'm going to get better. I'm also going to learn from the ways that other people screw me over. So I remember early on, we did this project. I'm not going to go into the big details, but we went to this project where a general contractor really threw us under the bus, right? We failed a final inspection that was completely not our fault. It was 100% the GC's fault. And they blamed us in front of the owner, in front of the inspector. They disrespected us. They called us stupid. I mean, it was absolutely absurd, right? And so you know what I did? I took ownership. I fixed the problem. I passed the future inspection. And in my phone, I wish I had it, I changed that person's name. I didn't delete them. I didn't block them. What I did is I changed their name to do not bid, do not answer. And every single time that person calls and asks us for a bid, guess what? I ain't working with them. I've set up protective boundaries where I'm not going to let people to continue to hurt me. I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn. I'm not going to let the same mistakes happen over and over and over again. What's that expression? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, it's okay to let your past, you can learn from it, you can grow from it, and you can also adapt and pivot and change and make sure that you're not allowing people or circumstances or systems or a job or whatever it is continue to hurt you. They are bad people, but if you continue to allow that to happen to you, and I'm not victim shaming, I'm trying to victim empower that it is your life. Take responsibility, take ownership, move out of your neighborhood, quit your job, freaking break up within that relationship. You can do it. I swear to you, I've almost done every single thing I just said. I actually have done every single thing I said. There is nothing from your past that you cannot let go of. So stop pretending like your past defines you or your past is something you need to heal from, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably way more of a badass than you realize. Sorry, my chin is hitting this. But you're way more of a badass than you probably realize. Did anything in your past kill you or crush you or defeat you such that you are unwilling to keep going? The answer is probably no. You might be limping along, you might be on crutches, but you are pushing forward. Believe that. You are strong. You will not be broken. And because of sometimes when you go through a tragic past and you're limping, you are surviving, you're not succeeding like you want to, but you're surviving, you get scared that those same types of things are going to happen in the future. And I'm just going to hit on the future for just a second, because your future is so make-believe, right? Like, your past is unchangeable. It's in concrete. I don't waste much energy about it because it's unchangeable. Your present is all that you can focus on because your future is just it's just an idea. All your future is evidence of what your current decisions and actions are. It is evidence of what your current decisions and actions are. Just like whenever we won the Inc. magazine's top 500 fastest growing company in America award at number 210, right? Like, it was fun to get a plaque and hang it on our wall and realize that all that plaque said was, we kicked ass last year. That's all it meant. It didn't mean that we were kicking ass now. It didn't mean that we were going to continue to seed. All it meant was, hey, you did a great job. Now transfer that to your future, right? All your future is going to say is whether or not today you have taken ownership, you have put in the work, you have made the right commitments, you have gotten rid of the wrong commitments. If you want to have a great future, stop thinking about your future and think about, just like I said last week, what's important now, okay? The last thing I want to end with, guys, is this quote that I read from Mark Twain. It said, "I'm an old man and I have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened." Just because you were hurt in your past, just because relationships failed you in your past, just because you tried and you dared greatly and you fell on your freaking face, doesn't mean that that pain is going to happen again in your future, that relationships are going to continue to fail you, that if you try again that you're going to fail, any of those types of things. And I think a lot of times we're so scared of the what if, the pain and the worry, and what if I lose my job and I lose my house. This is a fear that I completely had. You know, I've talked about growing up and losing our houses and losing my X-Men trading cards and getting evicted and stuff like that. It's such a massive fear on me that my kids are going to experience that. And so I'm so scared that my kids are going to get evicted that sometimes I'm a workaholic and I don't take, you know, my kids out for ice cream and I don't freaking make it to all their sporting events because I'm so scared of what might happen that I'm robbing my present life of joy. And truth be told, almost every single one of those problems never, ever happened, according to Mark Twain, and I'm going to take his word for it. So guys, if you want to have a joyous life, I know it's crazy because a lot of you have had painful, tragic things in your past, and sometimes you do need to go to a counselor. Sometimes there are things that you do need to heal from, but in my case, what I'm going to stand on is, dude, my past really means nothing to me. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow. I'm going to adapt. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to have clarity, and I'm going to have focus. And by focusing on right now, by having that clarity and focus, by being present, dude, I know my future is going to be bright. And every single goal and every single dream that I've had, I've always said, dude, it's just been a mile marker. It's never been a finish line.